hmm Now, one team that you already referenced it, Ole Miss. They had a historic, good regular season. Now, I hear that Lane Kiffin, he doesn't quite put in the work that he needs to in high school recruiting, but hell, they're killing it in the transfer portal, and this is just a new age. And I think there's a reason he's out here saying, A&M's buying players and all this. I think it goes back to his work ethic on the recruiting trail, but maybe he can sustain success using the transfer portal. We just never seen it done. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think he can keep that team and that program relevant by just focusing so heavily on the transfer portal?
I don't think you like Bill Snyder at Kansas State famously is like the only guy I can think of that sustained a program long term with like junior college transfers.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like the only one. Now you can pick spots and get your guy. Like Alabama's doing that through the portal, like, and they do it like in a more disgusting way than anybody else. They're like, oh, we need a great return man and running back. We'll get Jamari Gibbs, and oh, we need a great corner. Here's Eli Ricks, and oh, we need like they sort of get the best of the best. I think you can do that to replace Matt Corral, for example. I think you can do that with Jackson Dart, and you can bring him in, and you're not going to miss a beat because he's a super talented kid that's going to run your offense really effectively. Can you build up a defensive, too deep through the portal year in and year out? Like, no, you're not going to be able to do that. Like, you still the best programs, just like the NFL with the draft, the best programs in college football are still going to live primarily on recruiting.
Mm-hmm.
And Kiffin's got a lot of Spurrier to his game. He definitely from the quips and the barbs and the language and sort of the personality on Twitter. Like, how awesome would it have been to have Twitter with Spurrier around? By the way, he's we know that he was drawing up plays, but he wasn't really recruiting hard. Lane's got a lot of that same stuff. I don't think you can build a too deep in the portal and compete with Bama and A&M and Georgia at like LSU when they're recruiting well. Like
Right.
you have to have like second and third, your second and third receiver, your second and third corner, your second and third offensive tackle. Like, you got to have your fourth defensive end needs to be a 4-star player. Like, you've got to have guys that can come off the bench and play meaningful snaps. And that's not, I don't think you can build that kind of depth through the portal or through the junior college ranks. I think you've got to do it through recruiting, and you kind of fill in the voids. It's great for a program like Ole Miss because they can, stay relevant quicker because they lose Corral and they get Dart. But to say that they're going to win 10 games again and, compete with the best teams in the country, like, I don't, that is hard to see without quality recruiting.
Mm-hmm.